Okay, it's Saturday. I'm in the shop. I can't seem to get motivated to fabricate something for some reason. So today I'm going to work on a tool that I need. I'll need it for the buggy and the Baja. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let me show you what we're getting ready to do. Okay, the line cars, the front ends, they toe in or toe out. They make a little angle thing that you can buy that goes on the side. It gets with 2 tape measures, and you measure from the front and the back, and that tells you how much in or out they go. They're kind of expensive for what they are, so I decided I'm going to make my own set. And I need them for the rear too. To adjust the camber and caster on the back, you have to move these bolts up and down. This will pivot up and down. That'll actually cause this wheel to go in or out. So I'll need it for that, and also to measure front to back. So that's what I'm going to work on. And what I have, my dad had some old angle in his shop. They're, I don't know, they're probably 36 inches or so. They're aluminum. They're 1/8 inch. They're nice and square. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill out holes in them to match the 5x5s right there. Then you pull the wheels off and I can measure. But that's what I'm going to work on right now. Okay, the first thing I did is I clamped them together and I ground both sides together so I know they're the exact same length. Smooth the corners out. Now I'm going to measure and drill holes in them for the wide 5s. So that's the next step. Alright, now I'm measuring the studs. I'm measuring from outside, or the inside to outside on the stud. So it looks like it's 4 3/4. Keep in mind, pretty simple. I'm just going to put a slot right there on each end. It kind of looks like that. With the tape measure to pass through. Okay, I get just a hair under 2 on both sides. So that's how it works. There's just a slot for the tape measure to go through. I'll pick up a couple of cheap tape measures tomorrow. Make sure they're calibrated. Make sure they work. And basically, you just bolt these on each side of each wheel. And when you turn them in or out, you just measure the difference of the gap there. So, but it looks like it's going to work. So, go ahead and bolt one on and see how it does. Okay, I got to make some clearance for the hub. It sticks out a little bit, so just need a little half circle cut there. So I just use the sanding pad there to make my radius, but no big deal. Just got to make some clearance. All right, there they are, notched out. They're still nice and straight. Across the back side, so let's try it again. Okay, here they are bolted on. They just go on there. On that side. Now, just for fun, I'm going to take a measurement to see. When I mocked it up, I tried to eyeball it the best I could, and I know when it rolls, the tires squeal a little bit, so I know that it's out, but let's find out how far off it is. Okay, on the back side, I've got 64 3/8. So let's see what the front is. Okay, on the front we have 64 7/8. So it's a 1/2 inch wider on the front, and it's supposed to be 1/8 inch in. So I got a little bit of work to do. I'm gonna wait till I get a couple of tape measures tomorrow before I mess with it. And again, I don't really need to do this until final assembly, really, but I just want to kind of mess with it and play with it because I want to adjust the back wheels as well and get my measurement to make sure I'm center from the front wheel to the rear wheel. Make sure it's equal on each side. So, okay, I went ahead and made my adjustments on it. I've got an 1/8 inch toe in now. I just did it for mock-up. I'll have to redo it obviously when I final assemble it. But like I say, the tires were squeaking as I was rolling around before, so it was definitely out of line. But now I'm going to put my studs in next. So I got these. I bought some Loctite, and I'm going to use the permanent. Here's a question for Loctite. They make the red, which is the permanent, but the blue, which is the temporary, removable, it also comes in a red plastic tube. They can't manufacture that in a blue tube. I don't understand why. It just says blue right there, but Come on, Loctite, you can do better. Okay, there's the wheel studs installed on both sides. So just make it a lot easier to put the wheels on and off. Okay, now I'm going to start messing around with my limit straps. Put this one up here and do that. I'll need a spacer right there. I'm going to hook it. My plan is to hook this at the top of the shock and the bottom of the shock. It'll work on the front. I have to do it different on the back. But I need to make that spacer, so I need to measure out for that now. To get that measurement, I just held the strap up there. And then I went there with a pair of calipers and measure the distance. That way I know how wide to cut my spacer. All right, I got it cut down. This is just a 3/4 half-inch hole. It's a aluminum wheel spacer, like a motorcycle front wheel. That's all I used. So get it in place now. Okay, there I got a spacer in it now. It gives me enough clearance. I guess my only concern, that's plenty thick enough internally with the bolt, but that's kind of a lot of leverage for this to be pulling up and down on the bolt right there. So the bolt could twist. I think I'll run it like this anyway for now, and I'll just keep my eye on it. If it becomes a problem, I can always fix it later. I just think this is not going to be a competition buggy. This is more going to be an adventure buggy. So we'll just have to keep my eye out on it. And then the bottom, it just comes through extra space on that side. I think I'm going to run into a problem hitting my bushing, but I'm going to work on that now. Okay, I got it on there, mounted at the top, mounted at the bottom. It clears the bump stop when it's down. I want to raise it up and check and see. This is a 25-inch strap because they say they allow for stretch to happen. But seeing how this is a buggy and this front end so light, it's probably not going to stretch that much. I think I'm going to need a 26-inch strap instead of a 25, but I'm going to jack it up and see where it lands. All right, I got the full weight on it now, and I have more than an inch of space there. That's what you got to. That's what I'm just worried about. That just keeps it from bottoming. So I will get a longer strap. It'll be an inch longer. There's probably about 1.5 inches there. So that's what I'm trying. But I think it's going to work. So I think we're good. Okay, now I'm messing with the rear limit straps. I think I'm going to utilize this hole here or drill a new hole. I can put a spacer in there to space it down to 1/2 inch. But I have these holes here, which may have been for the limiting straps. I'm not sure. All right, this will go up and that one perfectly. I'm out in there. And down on the bottom, I'll be able to go there and there. That'll keep it away from the exhaust, so it won't be turned sideways. It'll be this way. That way it can't get near the exhaust, and it has plenty of room on the inside to move. So, okay, I got the top of it bolted in. I'll have to get rid of this tab here. But with this, I'll also be able to move it forward. That's probably about 3 inches, which would lift probably 1/2 to 1 inch on the bottom. So that gives me a way to fine tune it. And again, this, I'll either put a spacer in there to fill the bolt hole, or I'll drill a new hole on the side of it. Okay, I've jacked the rear end back up so I can find the limit on my CVs, and I think I have it pretty close. And again, I think I'm going to drill a little small hole, 1/2 inch hole, about right here in this one, so my limit strap will go in there. But what I've determined is I need a 22-inch strap, and these holes, if I move it from this hole to this hole, down here, I gain about 3/4 of an inch, so it comes up 3/4 of an inch. So every time I move a hole, I gain 3/4 of an inch, so that'll give me flexibility on the strap. I'm going to order a 22-inch, which will be close, so it may be too close, but then I can just move it forward, and that'll take care of it. So that gives me the flexibility I need. So I think at this point the limit straps are done, so we'll move on to the next thing. All right, the next video I'll finish mocking up the limit straps, but that's what I need to order. So I'll order the 22s and the 26s, and on next video we'll do the final mock-up on those. So now let's move on to other things. Okay, off camera I've been working on 2 things. I've been working on my angle here, which you adjust these and you push this up and down to work on the caster on there. But I think it's going to be something I need to do once the wheels are off and the shocks are off. It's just too much tension. I had a clip there, ratchet strap snap on me. I had it up here, down there, trying to pull tension up on it, and it snapped. I didn't get hurt or anything, but anyway. And the other thing I discovered when I was doing the limit straps on the back, I think either the shock's probably maybe one size too big, like an inch, 2 inches big, but I have it, I'm going to use it. I either need to get some lighter springs, less poundage per spring, or I think I'm going to get some shorter springs because it's hard to tell. I can't really get far back enough, but it's a little too high in the back, and I only really, honestly, with the way it's set up now, down travel, I only have about an inch, which is no good. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more research and determine whether I'm going to buy shorter ones or lighter rate springs. And I kind of don't mind buying them because these are the same size shocks I'm running on a Baja, so it'll give me extra springs. So I'll just have some backup springs, and it'll give me the ability to adjust everything here, hopefully. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to spend a little bit more money, but okay, for me to ask why I wouldn't raise the shock to lower the car, the way it's set up now from bump, if you took the spring out of this, from bump stop to bump stop, the spring travels through its entire length of motion when it goes through it. If I raise this up 2 inches to lower it, then when the shock would go up, it would stop short. I wouldn't get the full motion of the shock. So I need the shorter springs will lower it, but then I'll still have the full range of the shock working through it. So that's why I'm going to use shorter springs rather than change the shock. And this is a 14. If I drop down to a 12, I would be too close to the tolerances for it. It would be a little too close on the top and bottom end of it to maybe blow the shock out. So I think the 14 is the right size. It's just I need to adjust the springs a little bit. Okay, here's where we're going to wrap up this video. Nothing too exciting happened on this video, so I'm sorry about that, but the work was what it was. So anyway, I got the new limit straps ordered, so I'll get those in. So those will be part of the next video. And then I have something exciting for myself on the next video. I'll have something, and I'm really excited about it. So you'll just have to wait and see what it is. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.